Hello and welcome back. This will be my in-depth review and close-ups of the dungeon terrain from Griffin Tamer Studios from his Enter the Dungeon Kickstarter. My first video, the unboxing, was fairly big, therefore I'm going to go ahead and do this one in smaller portions. There will be a series of 3 videos. The first starting with the stretch goals and the Trapdoor Sewer set, followed by our archways and our double doors, and then we will graduate to the big entrances. Alright, so I hope you stick with us and enjoy things. Alright, thanks a lot. Here we go. First off, we're looking at the stretch goals, the camp pieces that were added for all of those people who pledged enough money. You're going to see a lot of the focusing go in and out as I try and get a nice, good, clear view. Our first piece will be the dead body. Let's see if that'll pop up in clearness. There we go. Okay, as you can see, there are a lot of very good details here. The bones are showing off very nicely. The flooring is very pitted, which is still not that bad. Very well crafted. Lots of details. So you're going to have a lot of fun painting this. There's a lot of good parts to get in there. I mean, you can go ahead and you can kind of see just how deep that is in there for the different locations. So this skull, this skeleton is a very good piece, very well made. You can kind of see how shiny the backside as it catches the lighting, and you can probably, this one is kind of flat on the edges, but you can kind of see a little bit some of the work. All right, and that's skeleton. All right, the dwarf table, the stone slab table, you can use it for a regular table. There we go. You can use it for a regular table or as an altar. It looks to be made of 2 different pieces. Okay, you can see some of the imperfections of the wrapping style when he cast this, but for the most part, this is a still beautiful piece. You know, hopefully the natural light from the sun kind of gives you a better idea of what these look like, and they look fantastic unpainted. I mean, you're not going to have much problem. This looks like regular stone. Yes, some extra color, maybe a little bit of wash on top, lots of grooves that you can see there. Grooves, pits, lots of details to catch the paint, to give each individual piece a nice idea, a nice identity, and it's a very nice piece. Next up, let's go with the sleeping pallet. Okay, let's see if we can get this in focus for you guys. Give it a second. There we go. All right. There we go. Wow. Look at that detail. Look at how much details on there. It actually looks very much like fur. Again, a good wash before you start painting is highly recommended. You've got nice details. A lot of places, crevices that the paint can get sucked in and give it a lot of life. Great for inks and washes to add character and depth to it. But a very simple piece, but very beautiful to look at. Fireplace. I know that fireplaces are probably not very common for most people. Let's see if we can get this in focus again. There we go. But look at the details. If anything, the sculpt work on these pieces are just fantastic. Very high quality and very well done. You're going to be pressed to not find something that is not as well done. And again, a little bit of color, of course, to make your fire pit look a little bit better. But again, the gray is a very nice color for the stonework. So you don't really need much to go along with it. Now, be aware that what I'm showing you are only one of the two sets that I've gotten. Simply for the matter of time and convenience. There we go. Okay, the pile of logs. This one looks kind of a lot more messier than the others, but that still gives it a lot of depth, and you can see a little bit of the work that needs to be done to, you know, shave it off, maybe make it a little bit smoother from the bottom. But for the most part, you're looking at still very good. It looks great. And again, just the right color, a nice wash. Will have fun with this. And you should really have a good time with these. Okay, here's the smallest piece that he did. And you've probably seen in the comment sections on the Kickstarter website, if you looked at it, the bucket. Now this bucket, now it's going to take a little bit more time to focus in, simply because it is so small. There we go. All right, but that's how small this bucket is. It's tip of the fingertip. Okay. Yes, it is open, which is another very interesting, very useful. Let's see if I can rotate this enough. I'm trying to show you guys exactly how well this is made. Someone had suggested, you know, it's just the right size for a large size mug to sit on top of the table, and I'd have to agree. It's a little small for play worth as an actual bucket, but you can perfectly do that, and there should be no problems. All right. Looking at the other one is the whale. Okay. And the whale, again, very highly detailed. I mean, the crevices aren't not as much. You can kind of see how the bottom section, where my left thumb is kind of catching on part of the lipping. Again, you might want to just, and there's strings that you might have to pull off and sand down if you're really particular about that type of thing. Me, no, I don't really mind. The well does makes a very nice size. A little bit later, well, actually I think I can do that right now, is just to see exactly how wide, how big is this well. And for that purpose, I have a simple from one of the Dungeon Command games, if you guys all seen that, the Goblin. Okay, and let's just see. Okay, so no, you're not going to get your goblins, you're not going to get your characters into the well, but sitting on top, sure, no problem. You're probably going to need a little bit something else to sit underneath it if you want to show that something's inside the well. But it's about as big as your finger. And the base is about the same, just the right size for a miniature. Okay, so that's not that bad. Not that bad at all. And reference point, I'll do a little bit more details later with size comparison with miniatures later. Okay. The animal rug, I said this in the previous video. I was hoping for something slightly thinner, something that will help the miniature sit on it a little bit better. Unfortunately, I don't think that would have been very popular or possible. And if it did, it would probably lose a lot of these beautiful, look at that fur. Individual pieces of fur. I mean, the details here is just really, really amazing. For the most part, you're probably going to find a lot of differences, similarities between each individual piece. This is a one man doing all the work, and that's going to cause a lot of big differences. The color variation in one batch to another will make a very big difference. The stone bench. Okay, well, look at that. It looks pitted. Lots of nooks and cranny to show that it's kind of worn down, that you can easily do. Okay, to make it look very, very nice, even from the back side. Only the bottom, which is completely flat and shiny, but everything else about this is well done. You can see the design on the bench, very intricate, lots of crannies and openings that you can do a lot of work. This is going to be a fun piece to paint, especially if you decide to do the markings in a nice gold or silver or some type of style of that nature. Probably the most basic and the simplest one to look at is the tent. Okay, it's a solid piece, and there's not much to it. He did go ahead and made sure that it was a closed piece, and you can see the ties to show which side is open, which side is the opening. And again, you can see how the flakes of the cast over. Yeah, this is a pretty easy to see. And again, for those people who are really particular on how they do things, how they want their miniatures, sand it down, file it down before you start to paint. All right. I like how the crevice here is very nice. Even on the back side, stitching, so that you can have your characters come up from behind and split it open, which is quite nice. Well, that's nice. Didn't notice that the first time around. Notice the stitching at the top as well. So it's a very clear medieval or fantasy style make of a tent of 1-2 pieces stitched together to make this tenting, which is very, very nice. Excellent piece. The weapon racks. First weapon rack that we have. Okay, let's see if that'll get a little bit better. There we go. Look at the details there. The the flail, I guess, or the chain, each individual circle, it's just shows up very nicely. The wood itself, it's very, very detailed. He put a lot of time into sculpting these, and he really, really, really went all the way. It's amazing that this is just a leftover piece, pretty much, because it was one of the stretch goals, which, hey, it's good enough to have its own run of things. And its partner, the other weapons, which again is a very nice mixture. Okay, it looks like I've got something stuck. Yeah, that's probably for me. So please ignore that. Nice little red part. Let's get that. Okay, back to the video. Okay, again, very well crafted. It looks like a wooden weapons rack. Very nice. And as I said earlier, and some people kind of suggest online, you can put them back to back to put them in the middle. And you can see clearly in this picture how this side is darker than the other. So different batch. Please don't be surprised when you notice that about your pieces. Again, one guide. Our next part of this video is the Trapdoor / Sewer set, and I've only pulled out one of the flooring pieces because they're pretty much interchangeable. You've got the details on the floor piece, which is excellent. You can see the details all along the rock. It really looks like stonework. As I pointed out earlier, there is the lipping here so that you can have it open, which is very useful. The back side, again, you look at it, wow, it looks very off size, but it's really, really nice. Okay, I'll be coming back to this piece in a little bit. Just leave that there. All right, the first part we're going to look at is the iron grate that came with the sewer set. Now this came with the sewer set. Let's see if we can get that a little bit better. There we go. Look at the details. Look at that face. It's only a face a mother could love. All right. You've got very smooth. I mean, it's detailed. The rings. Rings do not move on any of these pieces. They have been cast straight in, so you will need to you have to keep that in mind. The back side, so when it is sitting up, this ledge sits in the crevice to let it stand up so you can see this side, which is still very well made. Don't forget to paint this side as well. But as a straight iron, this color again is fantastic. When put in the flooring, standing up, ooh, pretty good. It is kind of loose, so you're not going to be doing a lot of moving it around when it's like this. And when you sit it in normally, it is sitting flush for the most part. Again, you'll probably notice that different pieces, you can see how one side kind of lifts up. It's not going to be a perfect fit, which is probably for the best, so that you can just simply push down and bring it on up. Okay. The next is in the sewer set, which is I found to be very, very nice, is the broken grate. Now this broken grate, when it comes into play, there we go, needs a lot of cleaning. You can see all of the cast leftovers. So this one, even I'm going to have to come in with a small knife to fix up. But the grate is made so that it looks as if something has broken out from below. Now, you can probably put it in this way. It doesn't look like he made it specifically to break down. And let's just exactly see how that will look. Now, the grates are the only ones that don't have a lip on it. So let's see. Yeah. With the grates facing downwards, breaking downward doesn't really fit. It sticks up. It's not made that way. So the most you're going to be doing is always someone breaking up from below. Now that looks fantastic. Okay, and it fits in there perfectly. You're not going to have any problems using that or moving it around. Okay, yes, the size is a little bit small, but that's to make it ease of popping out. We have the regular grate, and this one's not much more to really look at. You know, again, needs a lot of cleaning. The back side versus the front side. The front side looks much, much better, and it's clear which is which. The back side is completely flush, while the upside, the front side, is not. So you clearly know which side is which. Again, you might have to rotate it to make sure that it fits in the correct way. Alright, so that it'll only fit in one way, it looks like. But that's okay, it's just a grate. And it's not that bad. Okay. Next is from the trap set doors itself, and this is the decorative floor plate that he created. Again, lots of nooks for great paintwork, lots of washing area. The stone itself, lots of character, so that it doesn't look like it was flatly made. It looks like stone. Lots of good for that. The design is quite nice as well. The back side, again, very, very lively. Lots of characteristics for some nice paint jobs to make it look really nice. Again, sits right in top of there. You can see just how well it fleshes. Yeah, it kind of lifts up slightly, but that's not going to be much of a problem. Press down for it to stand up. Yeah, probably you're not going to get a complete fit for all of them. As you can see, it kind of sticks up there from time to time. But that's okay. I mean, if you're looking for beauty aspects, it does what it needs to do, and there's no other products like it. The last is the regular wooden trapdoor. Again, lots of beautiful details. It looks like wood. The ring is, again, unmovable. Okay. The sides here, again, it looks like wood has been used to make this, a double wood section. Alright, that has been crosswork. Alright, what you would expect from a trapdoor, which is another reason why this is a very nice piece. Beautiful, beautiful design. Stick it on together, and you're good to go. Okay. The last piece that I want to show off is the added bonus, which was the Griffin itself. Perhaps it was, I believe it was the last piece added, just so that you can see just how much detail and love went into making this piece. And you can see, again, cast leftovers, a little bit of sand, a knife, smooth here. The feathers, beautiful. And you're gonna really enjoy this piece. Painting it is very nice. How does it set up against our standard miniature? It's about the same size. Base is about right, same size. Looks like it's a medium base, not a small, which is still not bad. And it's a nice piece. Very nice. Okay. Now, one last thing that I want to show is I have some of Dungeon Forge's unpainted, yes, unpainted still, game tiles. And I just want to kind of give an idea of what they look like with your flooring. Just so that you have an idea of what you're getting into. All right. Now you should be able to see that, and that's very, very good. With a flooring piece on top. Okay, yeah, it is a little bit raised. That you're going to have a little bit of, oh yes, that opens, and you can clearly see it. When you have your miniature, yeah, he's a little bit off, depending on what square you're putting him in. Woohoo! But an open portal, we got our miniature, and he fits directly in. Isn't that nice? That's useful. Now this is a small. Let's see how he works with a medium. Again, from the Dungeon Crawler. The Dungeon Command, Dungeon Command Orc set. And no, he's not going to go in there very easily. Even without the door. He fits, but if you want to go very short, get the smalls. Smalls will fit down there perfectly. Actually, yeah. No size difference there. So it's a pretty good usage. I hope you enjoyed the video. The next video will be consisting of the archways and its various pieces. And I hope you stick around to watch that too. Thanks a lot. Take care.